Hey there, it's another beautiful day. Let's watch some stuff.
5D Mystery School. Welcome back to 5D Mystery School. So if you have not seen my video about Event 201, you might want to go watch that so you can better understand what I'm saying here. So prior to COVID, Bill Gates ran this Event 201. It's like a simulation of what would happen if a pandemic were to break out. To simplify this, it's like when you're at elementary school and you have a tornado warning, your teachers tell you how to handle a tornado in the event that it actually happens. Some might say that was actually planned. I don't want TikTok to take this video down, so I just say allegedly. Well, Cyber Polygon is similar to Event 201. Essentially, it's training to see how we will handle a national cyber attack. Like I've said before, it will halt transportation, which means you wouldn't get food to your local grocery stores. It can shut down the water supply, which means no running water, no baths, no showers, no electricity for your home. Just keeping you aware. Don't be scared, be prepared.
Event 201 took place like 5 months before COVID became like a thing, right? And this exercise is to prepare for a cyber attack. So how soon can we expect this cyber attack?
To various environmental organizations and some residents, this factory is primarily responsible for the water shortage in the city. For context, around 216,000 people live in San Cristobal. The factory essentially uses 4.6 liters of groundwater per inhabitant per day. In April 2017, and again in September 2020, some citizens took to the streets demanding the end of Coca-Cola in the region. Coca-Cola and its partner company FEMSA countered that their bottling plant is not to blame. Water is scarce for other reasons. There's just poor infrastructure, lack of government investment, and climate change. That's all true. Historically, water for San Cristobal has been obtained from rivers and springs in the surrounding areas. Since the 1970s, the city's population has grown rapidly. Unfortunately, the city does not have a functioning sewage system or sewage treatment plant. Feces and garbage from the growing population are simply dumped into rivers. This makes the water undrinkable and harmful to health.
So it seems like people in that area are just trying to use the Coca-Cola company there as a scapegoat, even though it's the infrastructure that needs to be, updated to accommodate all of these people and their wastes and their water needs. I'm not saying that Coca-Cola being there doing that is a fantastic thing, because it really bothers me ever since hearing about the Nestle company doing what they're doing with the water. But it seems like it's not just Coca-Cola's fault in that situation.
This sort of nanotechnology to target drugs. So if we attach a specific drug to the nanoparticles here, we could put it in the entire body and it would all be dilute. But if we target an organ with a strong magnetic field, we can actually cause all of the drugs to go.
So if we attach a specific drug to the nanoparticles here, we could put it in the entire body.
I feel like there's a little bit of fear mongering there, but I totally get both sides of this, like good and bad, how it can be looked at. So in the good medical standpoint, I see where it would be attaching this nanotechnology that is magnetic to this medication, so that way when you ingest it, it can be directed to the part of your body where it's required for healing. And the bad side is, what kind of nanotechnologies are they putting inside of your body? And what happens once the medication is absorbed? Does it just kick around in your body doing who knows what?
Paris, 1895. The train crashes through the front of the Montparnasse train station in Paris. The drivers survive, but one lady died from falling masonry. The story was quite interesting, but it led me on a trail all the way down to the underground of Paris and the sewers. And I began to see these elaborate structures made out of brick in many different styles and functions. And while I thought these sewers, which are commonly seen people taking boat tours on and things like that, well, I thought they were wonderful. I also saw that they also connected to the catacombs, these skull cities. This obviously buried under Paris, the remains of the old world and all that was. But was this simply part of another reset?
So the catacombs, from what I recall, are believed to have been founded, started, right, in the 1700s. And there was a lot of issues with sinkholes and stuff like that. So this leads me to believe that those tunnels were already there. They weren't built for the trains. They were already there. They just happened to be retrofitted for these trains. That's just what I'm saying. And a lot of Tartarian believers feel the same way. Like a lot of these tunnels were already there. They just became used by the people of the time because the previous civilizations dug them out. For why, we don't know. And then they were there when our civilization came around and found them again.
So in 2014, we started finding nanotechnology in our food products. Probably even before then. In extremely high amounts in Pepsi and Coca-Cola. Yeah, these little guys. Polymeric particles. Yeah, so you probably have them in your body. And this is in many other food sources too. But look at Microsoft. They did a partnership with Coca-Cola recently for AI technology. And this is part of a 5-year plan. A $1.1 billion deal. That's $1,000 million. I'm not saying anything here. I'm just saying, do the research yourself. But you know how Bill Gates has always had a way of getting into your body? Well, if it ain't mosquitoes, maybe it's nanoparticles. Who knows? That's up for you to find out. It's your body, it's your choice, and it's your right to research.
Nanoparticles and this nanotechnology have been in our foods and our beverages since the 90s, maybe even earlier when we started learning how to mix little tiny things together, right? Typically they're used as preservatives and flavor enhancers, things like that. And it's just taking stuff and putting it together, right? And that's what it is, to make it last longer, make it do a specific thing, have a function. I understand the concern of Bill Gates getting his muddy little hands in this for the simple fact that there was this thing that he was suspected to have been putting into this liquid stuff that, was happening in that one time. So people are like, oh my gosh, because when you say nanotechnology, people are like little tiny robots, but it's not necessarily little tiny robots. But then when you put Bill Gates in the mix, you're like, little tiny robots.
This is a game. Y'all think this is a game? This is who our enemies are, right here. You see that? They're half-breed reptilian races. Draco and reptilians are different races. These are the ones that we have been taking out.
I totally 100% believe that there are aliens here. And it would not surprise me one tiny bit if they were wearing skin to look like us. So yes, I buy that 100%. Actually, no, 99%, because I believe that these aliens that are here are crazy advanced, and the ones that would be here would be like the elite of their military, so they wouldn't get caught.
In case you are wondering if Joe Biden is cloned and a robot, look no more.
We will adopt a more comprehensive assistance package for Ukraine and sustain that NATO's door remains open by inviting Finland and Sweden to join our alliance.
What the hell?
Finland and Sweden to join our alliance. Finland and Sweden to join our alliance.
I hadn't seen this one before, and it's kind of, a little silly, maybe he thought he was supposed to clap at that moment and then realized he's still talking, maybe I don't clap yet. I don't know. But this one's interesting. a lot of these videos are coming out and they're highlighting this poor man's like mental state, like his degradation, and how his body is able to hold up to what's going on. And I say this poor man because my grandfather had dementia, and at the beginning it's difficult, and then it just gets harder and harder. And that we're using this as a circus is absurd. And not just the American people and not just the Republicans, but the people who are propping him up still. If this is truly happening, and it's not just, us cherry picking, bad stuff about people, because that's what we do, right? But if this is truly happening, we're doing this all wrong. That's not how you care for a person. Whether you're Republican or a Democrat or somewhere in between, he's a human being. And if he is having these problems, we are people for dragging him through the mud instead of standing up and going, look, you should probably not be president right now. We have things in order in case that happens. So let's put one of those into place.
Have you ever read the book 1984 by George Orwell? Well, in that book, the police actually have the technology to monitor your thoughts. This year, Elon Musk wants to put Neuralink in your brain. Now, they say that the Neuralink is going to be to our advantage because it's going to take away anxiety, depression, and other regular human emotions and feelings. Humans actually have the abilities to do this themselves. We can use telekinesis, we can use telepathy, but when you start to put technology before spirituality, it brings the inevitable doom of a society. So just to clarify, they want to get a which includes nanotechnology. That's going to completely cut off your autonomy as a human and rewrite your DNA code. They want to enter Neuralink in your brain to control your thoughts and to monitor your thoughts. I'm not sure if you guys are paying attention, but it seems like we're going into a full dystopian society. Stay woke, man.
Well, I don't necessarily agree with everything that he just said. A lot of it does have some precedence. Like, this book was written 75 years ago, and a lot of it is like coming to fruition. Like, we are in a technological society, and there is believed to be police officers with devices that can read your mind. So that is pretty interesting the way it's coming about.
Countries are reacting in different ways as to how best to manage the overwhelming amounts of and misinformation circulating over the internet. In some cases, limited internet shutdowns are being implemented to quell panic.
How much control of information should there be, and by whom? And how can false information be effectively challenged? And what if that false information is coming from companies or from governments?
I think it's very important that we make sure that there is concise communication with all healthcare facilities where these patients are being treated so that there isn't mass panic.
We're at a moment where the social media platforms have to step forward and recognize the moment to assert that they're a technology platform and not a broadcaster is over. They, in fact, have to be a participant in broadcasting accurate information.
So it's like this was planned, right? So they had a plan for it, and then it happened, and they put this plan into place, and now suddenly they have control, right? They get to say what you get to say and what you're allowed to say on these platforms, because that's the way that it is, because you can't say things that we say are true. You can't say that they're false. I have to be very, very descriptive, because if I say the things that I want to say, they'll take my video down, because that's been put into place. And I can't say certain things. Nobody can. And it sucks. You should be able to say whatever you want, because this is America.
Alexa, what is DARPA's N3 program?
From SingularityHub.com. The 4-year N3 program focuses on two main aspects: non-invasive and minutely invasive neural interfaces to both read and write into the brain.
Alexa, how does DARPA's N3 program treat brain frequencies?
From Singularity2030.ch. DARPA's Next Generation Non-Surgical Neurotechnology, N3, program has awarded funding attempting to build brain-machine interfaces that match the performance of implanted electrodes but with no surgery whatsoever.
Alexa, what is Brain 2025?
From NIH.gov. Brain 2025 envisioned improved technologies, faster, less expensive, scalable, for anatomic reconstruction of neural circuits at all scales, from non-invasive maps of human brain circuits to dense reconstructions of synaptic wiring diagrams in animals.
I know. I've been sampling this guy's video for like the last 4 days, and it's not over yet. It was a long one, but I wanted to break it apart into little pieces so we can watch it a little bit at a time and talk about it, because it is freaking cool learning another DARPA program that has to do with like the brain and like writing code in the brain and stuff like that. It's incredible the amount of science that we are trying to do and mixing it with technology in that manner. It's like just being us isn't enough. We have to incorporate all this technology into it too. On that note, I'm going to call it for today. Thank you so much for sharing your time with me. Come on back tomorrow. We're going to watch some new stuff. I'll say different things, and it's going to be fantastic. Until then, have a wonderful day.